So the January 6th House Committee releasing its 845-page report last night, ending the 17-month-long investigation into the events surrounding the Capitol riot. Now, some takeaways from the report. It says former President Donald Trump and his inner circle allegedly engaged in 200 acts to try to overturn the election, and accused of being the architect of the fake elector plot, they say, is attorney Kenneth Chesebro. The committee also wants Trump to be barred from entering office again. And then this shocking statement from D.C. National Guard Commander Major General William Walker strongly considered sending troops to Capitol without approval, saying he would have done it even if it meant resigning the next day. And Cassidy Hutchinson, remember her, that star witness at the January 6th committee's public hearings there? Well, she is being called out for alleged inconsistencies in her testimony following the release of the committee's final report yesterday. In one allegation, Hutchinson also made disputed claims about what White House counsel Pat Cipollone told her. Hutchinson testified that Cipollone said, "We're going to get charged with every crime imaginable if Trump went to the Capitol." However, Cipollone was reportedly not at the White House on the morning of January 6, according to Human Events senior editor Jack Posobiec. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden is preparing for some GOP probes. He recently added high-profile attorney and ex-Clinton lawyer Abby Lowell to his legal team. Lowell also represented Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. That news breaks, though, amid incoming House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, the current top-ranked Republican on the panel, pledging to subpoena Hunter Biden and other Biden family members next year when they get control of the House. For more on this, let's bring in former Trump 2016 foreign policy advisor and Newsmax contributor George Papadopoulos. George, good to have you in with us.
Thanks a lot for having me, Bianca.
All right, first off, can we talk a little bit about this January 6 committee? Obviously, it was never bipartisan to begin with. They had one plan, and that was obviously to blame Trump for this, even though we know there were requests for Capitol Police days before that Pelosi turned down. We know Cassidy Hutchinson was inconsistent. I mean, a lot of the stuff she says has really been refuted by Tony Ornato and other people. What do you make of this report that they have released now to the public?
Well, this 17-month-long process was really the epitome of all political theater and absolutely no substance. From incredulous witnesses, like you just stated, from Cassidy Hutchinson, the inability of the president to actually mount a legal defense, and even ABC producers involved in the layout of this entire thing. This really feeds the perception that this was a made for Blu-ray direct to the American people production. And at the end of the day, the American people really did not buy it. And what it did showcase was a vindictive display of state power against a political opponent. And the problem that the Democrats faced when you do have this type of direct to Blu-ray type of production, as I like to call it, is that it's really based on fiction and exaggeration. Months ago, the FBI, according to Reuters, suggested that there was absolutely no widespread conspiracy to overthrow the last election. Yet the Democrats on MSNBC, CNN, or even during their testimonies, they continue to expound on this conspiracy theory that there was this actual conspiracy led by the President of the United States to overthrow our democracy. That, of course, was found to be absolutely baseless, without any substance, and witnesses like Cassidy Hutchinson are now facing potential criminal liability for lying under oath about what they knew during the January 6th event. So this, right, I believe, is going to backfire on the Democrats.
Yeah, well, let's leave that aside. Obviously, a lot to, see where that goes. And obviously, the DOJ is under no requirement to take this, J6 committee and do anything with it. But Hunter Biden, another story here, could be definitely something that could lead to some more serious charges. He's hired this attorney, Abby Lowell. He apparently is, lawyering up here, George. We know that there was some talk recently, like in September, that there were some inside discussions about him maybe even going on the offensive and trying to sue people for defamation. What do you think about this particular hiring here? Do you think Hunter Biden is prepared and concerned about what the House GOP will be doing once they gain control in January?
Well, look, many of these members of the GOP that were actually elected to Congress were elected for a key reason, and that was to actually conduct, not only to improve the horrendous economic situation and the border war zone that the American people are facing, but also to seek accountability for the Biden family, potentially Obama administration officials who might or might not have been involved in illegal activities. And what the representative was looking into is actually not really Hunter Biden himself, but actually Joe Biden. We can't forget Tony Bobulinski in the waning days of the last election suggested on primetime television that Joe Biden himself was likely involved in some of these shady overseas business arrangements with his son, with some of the most nefarious and unsavory companies and business people in Ukraine and China. The key question is this, and it's a very simple question: is the president's son a national security threat? And because of that, is the president himself, by extension, one himself? If we don't have that answer at the end of these investigations, they are failed investigations. These are not witch hunts, and I think this is exactly why you did see Hunter Biden reach out and hire this prominent lawyer who has actually represented Jared Kushner and others and is involved in these type of hearings, because this is a serious investigation that the Republicans are going to be conducting next year when they're in office, and it's the right thing to do.
George Papadopoulos, former Trump foreign policy advisor, Newsmax contributor. Great to have you in, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks, George.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They
Let me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.